Hey, I'm Lee Martin. I ride for Yeti Snow MX, KTM Canada, and I'm also sponsored by Klim. And in this short video, I would like to share with you what I wear when I go snowbiking on cold days and warmer days. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start with the basics. Out here in the middle of nowhere, standing in my underwear, but believe it or not, I'm actually quite warm, and it's maybe -5, -6 today, so it's not super cold. But what I'm wearing underneath my snow gear is probably more important than my snow gear itself, and I can't stress that enough. What I'm wearing is the Klim Aggressor 3.0 underwear. So it's a synthetic material. They also make a merino wool version, but I just tend to wear the synthetic instead. Anyhow, this underwear has been the warmest underwear I've ever worn in my entire life. So I've been skiing the backcountry now for, I don't know, probably since I was 13 years old, so quite some time ago. And I was always getting cold underneath my clothing, always getting cold. And with this underwear, when it came out a few years back, it's just revolutionary. Works really, really well. And it still wicks away the sweat well. And so it is moisture wicking, and it definitely helps me stay dry and warm. I'll carry an extra pair of this stuff in my backpack, so if I have the worst case scenario of being stuck out in the bush for some reason for a long time or overnight for rescue, I'll have dry underwear, and that's a lifesaver. But this stuff is awesome. Really, really like it. Let's check out what I'm talking about on my feet. So, boom! Right there, I'm wearing the Klim Havoc boot. Now, this boot, I've been really, really enjoying it a lot. Before, I was wearing other Klim snowmobile driven type footwear, and it was just too big and clunky, and I wasn't able to maneuver around the bike. It didn't feel like I was wearing moto boots. It was hard to get around the shifter, and I've seen guys do a bunch of different things to, change their shifter up. But honestly, with my stock shifter on my KTM, these boots work just fine. They're Gore-Tex, so they're going to be watertight. And yes, I have spent some time in the water on my snow bike, not intentionally, but it kept my feet dry. I had broken through some ice one day. Luckily, it wasn't deep, but my feet were dry because the Gore-Tex did that in the boots. They're very well insulated, and they do keep my feet reasonably warm. On the really, really cold days, where it's like -20, -30, and I'm plowing through the snow, and it's constant, like the snow melts off the engine and then builds up in your boots and it gets icy. Yeah, your feet are gonna get a little bit cold. That's just kind of the nature of snow biking, unfortunately, but it's definitely a lot better than any moto boot. And they also have what's called the BOA strap system on the back. So it's a ratcheting system where I can just click. And like so, tighten my boot up. And they fit cozy around my legs, around my shins, ankles. I got good ankle support, and all is good in the world. So definitely a great choice for the Havoc boots. So yeah, let's get some clothes on, shall we? And now I have on my snow bike pants. So this is the Klim Havoc Bib, and it is an aggressive, rugged snow bike pant that has a whole different aspects about it that work well with snow biking. One of the major aspects is that it's super durable, super rugged. It's meant for thrashing through trees and bushes and more than just powdery snow. A really important thing with snow biking is we use very aggressive foot pegs, and if we slip off those foot pegs or we're getting on and off the bike, it's easy to catch your pants and rip them. So this material right here really protects you from possible burns on your pipe, or even more so, your foot pegs. In the rear of the pant and underneath, they're using fabrics that help you hook into your seat really well. So you're not sliding all over your bike. You've probably worn regular snow pants before, or an inappropriate pant, and you're like, man, I'm really sliding around the bike, especially if you don't have a gripper seat. And so to be able to have that really helps me sit into the bike, get it to move around well in the bush or out in the open with confidence without sliding around on the bike. The bib sits nice and high. I don't have that threat of wiping out in the snow and getting a bunch of snow down my back. It does come up quite high in the back as well, and on the sides. So I stay nice and dry. The suspenders are fully adjustable to get you up and nice and high, get you in place, feeling good. Pockets, yes, it has pockets. And they're quite large. I usually keep beacons or my phone in there, spare batteries. On this side, I might have a goggle wipe or you know, whatever I need to put in them. It's full-size pocket. My whole span of my hand can fit in that pocket, which is great. The bottoms, they all hook into the Snowbike boots. So there's a little tether that hooks in the bottom of the Havoc boot. And then of course they've got this spandexy somewhat watertight band that hooks around and zips up around the bottom of your boot to keep the snow from the bottom coming up into your leg. Again, these pants have been absolutely amazing, and just to my, you know, shortcomings, the only time I ever do damage to my gear is when I burn it on an exhaust pipe, or I'm not paying attention. I'm standing out in the snow and I'm leaning up against something and it's hot and I just burned a hole into something. But these have been super rugged. They will be my second season, but I do still have the first edition of these pants from, I don't know, 3 years ago now, maybe 4. They still work great. I have no issues with them. They just, you know, treat your stuff with respect, and they'll treat you back with the same amount of respect by keeping you dry and warm. So yeah, let's move on. Let's get something up on top here. And now on top of my head, as you can probably hear, I'm wearing the Klim Arctic Balaclava. So on the colder days, not like the spring snowbike season, I'll wear this Balaclava so that not only this breath box keeps my goggles from fogging up, but it has the wind stopper technology in it. Reposition it. And a nice small window that comes around my forehead and my eyes so my goggles can cover it. I don't get that warning of frostbite coming across the top of my head. It hangs down nice and low inside your jacket. So any snow that's piling up off the trees when you're smashing through them and stuff, don't get down and get you all kind of cold and wet. And it's easy to breathe in. It's not restrictive at all. The inside's a nice fleece lining, so it's super warm, super comfy. And if I am working hard through the bush on days where it's cold, I'll pack a couple of these in my backpack so that if I'm taking it off, having lunch and putting it back on, I got a nice dry balaclava to put on. So that's a good little tip. But yeah, the Klim Arctic Balaclava is definitely a key. I don't go with any other balaclava on the market except for this one because it works great. All right, so let's get some jackets up on top here. Let's see what I'm going to be wearing when I'm bashing through the backcountry. So these next two configurations are pretty much similar. Check these out. Yeah. Boom! Boom! Oh, boom! Oh, boom! Ah, yeah! Yeah! So, what I'm wearing on the bottom is still the same. I pretty much wear the Havoc pants all the time. And the Havoc boots, just some different color configurations between the two of them. The jacket is the Stealth, and this jacket has no insulation whatsoever, so it's a shell. But I'm definitely wearing this jacket for, I got great maneuverability in it. I don't feel hung up. I can deke in and out of the trees really aggressively. There's lots of tough material on the outsides of these jackets to help protect you through the bush. However, there are other jackets that you can get from Klim that are even more durable, which we're going to talk about next. But in the meantime, still the Power Cross gloves. All I have underneath this is my Aggressor underwear I showed you before, and my Aggressor underwear underneath my Havoc pants. Okay, so what I'm wearing is, I'm just wearing my other setup of Havoc pants, so without the orange markings. It's just black and gray and white. Pretty slick, pretty stealth. Still having the Havoc boots, okay? I'm wearing Power Cross gloves, so really great glove. And this is the Storm Parka, the Storm Jacket. It's not insulated, but it's very maneuverable. Fits real nice, cuts in tight. Nothing to get hung up on. Don't really feel like I have a big bulky jacket on. So if I want to be flying around, going fast and just enjoying all kinds of different lines and looking around, things are pretty great. And then of course I'm wearing a Klim knapsack, and I keep my food and all my extra gear in there, my clothing and rescue, and I can carry my 2-way radios on that and all sorts of other great things. So this is a really great configuration. I probably wear this 80% of the time with this in the orange setup. So great clothing, great selection for the average boondocker. And I'll probably wear this anywhere from temperatures between 0 and, well, the pluses, and then down to like, I don't know, -15 is probably as cold as I'll go before I start thinking about a warmer jacket. All right. Now this configuration is for my real rugged boondocking. I'm getting a lot of face slappers, I'm going through saplings and just smashing through the bush, trying to find undiscovered country and stuff like that. And what I'm going to wear on top is drastically different than any of the rest of the jackets. The pants, the boots, they're still the same, but the top is the Valdez Jacket. And this jacket is the most durable jacket I've ever worn. Now it is only just a shell, so it's not insulated. So you want to be mindful of what you're wearing underneath. Of course, you know, you want to wear your Aggressor underwear because it's super warm, the 3.0 stuff. But this jacket's so good because, for lack of a better term, it's almost like a really rugged army canvas. I have just been smashing all season last year through anything. Big pine trees, saplings, you name it. And I have not only hardly any marks on the jacket, but not a single rip, no tears. I was warm all season in it. And I decided to buy an extra size up with this jacket so that if I was going to go bushwhacking through the woods and I need to layer up a bit more underneath, I didn't feel like a big bulky snowman. I felt like I could move around a bit more. So the Valdez Jacket has been far my favorite jacket of the bunch. It is probably one of the most expensive ones out of the bunch, but you get what you pay for, and which is really great high quality when you buy a purpose-built jacket. Keeping in mind that all these jackets I've been talking about, like they're just not your standard snow jacket you're going to go buy at Walmart or whatever. I mean, they're cut and designed to be sitting on a snowmobile, or more importantly for us, snow bikes. So, you know, when you stretch out your arms in normal jackets, they tend to be a little short in the sleeves. So they're built like that. They got extra, you know, panels in the back for that reach when you're hunching over, or you're stretching your arms out. And they think about the collar as well. A lot of snow jackets have tall collars and they don't work great for moving your head around. They bunch up underneath your helmet. So, and you know, that's why a lot of these jackets have short collars. So it's important you're still wearing that balaclava underneath, or a neck warmer or something to keep yourself from getting cold or frostbite. Yeah, this one is by far my favorite setup for thrashing and bashing in the backcountry. And my last configuration is the warmest one of the bunch. I'm gonna wear this when I'm out on the really cold days, like -20 and below. I'm still wearing my Havoc boots, my Havoc Bib, but underneath my Havoc Bib, between this and my underwear, I'm gonna be wearing like a nice fleecy warm pajama layer. Something that's gonna keep my legs warm, but cut down on the wind quite a bit. And then I've got the Klimate parka on. And this is probably the warmest jacket that Klim makes. They have multiple different warm jackets, but this one's super warm. And just standing here, I can feel myself sweating. So this is for, like, you know, I'm cruising, big cold days, going across lakes, down long trails, exploring the backcountry, not working too hard, but trying to stay warm. Gloves, I'm still wearing the Power Cross gloves. These things are phenomenal. They're super warm. I'll turn my bar heaters on, my grip heaters, and they'll work all day long. So yeah, this is my last configuration. Really, really cold days. Whew, all this jumping around and changing clothes has got me kind of thirsty. I think I'll just crack back one of these bad boys. Oh, it's hard to open. Oh, there we go. Okay, I want to reiterate again about the headwear and the helmets before we finish up this video. An oldie but a goodie, and this is one of my, I just like these older F4 helmets. Klim did such a great job making them. Sometimes you can still find these on the market for really great prices, and it's a really great helmet. So, you know, if you happen to come across an F4 helmet, a discontinued F4 helmet, don't give up on it. Seriously consider it. It is a great helmet, and this one has served me well. I've had this one since new. I think this is probably 3 years old now, this model, and fortunately I haven't had any big crashes on it, and it's done a good job protecting my melon. Okay, so the next evolution in helmets from Klim is the F3 from the F4. I know it's strange they went down a number, but it makes sense. They went down a number because they also went down in weight, and they increased greatly in performance. So the F3 is this is a carbon helmet F3, ultra lightweight, really easy on the neck and the shoulders for wearing all days out in the backcountry, and it just fits real well. The has a windstopper liner that you can purchase to put in it. Breath box as well in this helmet. So on those warmer days where you don't want to wear balaclava, but you don't want your goggles fogging up, you can put a breath box in. And let's talk about the goggle that is on this helmet. So this is the newest, latest, greatest Edge goggle from Klim. And what's really important about purchasing your snow bike helmet with your winter goggles, not your moto goggles, they don't do the same trick, and I'll tell you why, is that this goggle is designed to fit perfectly in the window framing of this helmet, so that it's highly less likely of wind sneaking through between the goggles and the top of the helmet to give you things like frostbite, which is not ideal. So getting a proper snow goggle with a proper, snow helmet. A lot of helmets out there, moto helmets, are not designed for wintertime use. Your head will get cold. Your goggles won't fit right, especially if they're by a different manufacturer, and you'll get frostbite and you'll hate the day and you'll be fogging up in your goggles all day and it'll just suck. Let's talk a little bit about goggle selection. Why is it important to have a snow bike goggle? The biggest difference is two things. For the goggles that have snap-in lenses that aren't like the Edge here, you make sure you want a double layer lens. That's really important. The double layer lens really helps greatly with the fogging attributes. The other thing too, if you notice between a snow goggle and moto goggle, is on a snow goggle, the foam, considerable amount of foam added to a snow goggle. That's also helping close that window up between your helmet and your face and your goggles to make sure that you don't get wind blowing through to get frostbite. So yeah, really important you buy a proper goggle, and don't make the mistake of going to buy, let's say you're gonna go buy your Klim helmet, say, oh, I'm just gonna go pick up that other brand of goggles because they look sick. They're not gonna fit right, and they're not gonna keep you warm, and they're gonna fog up, and it's gonna let you down a lot. So get the right goggles for the right helmet. The last helmet I'm going to show you is their F5 helmet, and this is their top of the line helmet. Now this model is a couple of years old, but pretty similar to what they're doing with the new ones. Again, windstopper liner comes with it. Breath box comes with it. Between all these helmets, all the insides, you can completely snap them out, wash them, clean them, snap them back in. And this goggle that's in this helmet is the Oculus goggle by Klim. So this came out before the Edge, and this was their version of quick removing lenses. Still very quick to remove this lens, not as fast as the Edge is, but pretty good. So if you're starting out on a sunny day and you think you might be getting in later into the dusk or the evening, you can quickly snap out the goggle, put in a clear lens or a more appropriate lens like a yellow lens or something to allow you to see better and get your way back to the truck or back to your cabin or wherever it is that you're staying. So ultra lightweight, really comfortable. This is my go-to helmet, and much like with the F3, the F5 has a snap-in chin strap. So it's real simple, just pulling a real red connection and disconnects your helmet. And then when you're wearing, I'm not wearing thick gloves, it's just a Dakar set of gloves for the video, but when I'm wearing big, thick winter gloves, you tend to fumble a lot trying to do up your helmet. You're taking your gloves off, and now they're getting cold, and so you want to try to keep your gloves on all the time. And you snap in your helmet with a magnet, like so. That will never let go until you pull that red snap. And it's great in an emergency. You're not having medical cutting your helmet apart, try to get your head out of it. It's a simple little, oh, boop, and strap is undone. Helmet saved. So that's it for the helmet selection. Let's go back over here. So thank you very much for watching. It's been a pleasure, and I hope this video's helped you out pick what type of snowbiking gear you should be wearing when you're out in the boonies. Take care. See you out in the snow. Hey, how would you like to save some money at our next Rally Connects event by purchasing Klim? Well, it's easy. Visit our sponsor, Dual Sport Plus, Purchase over $200 in climb gear, and we'll give you a coupon code for 10% off at your next Rally Connects event. And don't forget, Rally Connects is bringing you quality snow bike events all winter long. Go to our webpage for more details.